The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
House of Representatives, sir. I am deeply sorry to my family, staff, and constituents for mistakes and judgment I've made in my past. I will fight the serious false allegations made against me. However, I must take responsibility and ownership for the mistakes I did make. I am aware of efforts to bring an immediate expulsion vote against me and other members. Expelling anyone in Congress without due process within days of an allegation being made is wrong. But it's also wrong for my constituents to have me distracted from my duties. Therefore, I plan to resign my seat in Congress effective at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on April 14th, 2026. I will work with my staff in the coming days to ensure they are able, in my absence, to serve the needs of the good people of the 14th Congressional District. Signed sincerely, Eric Swalwell.
Under
House of Representatives.
Yes, my friends, it is official. Eric is gone. I want to say that it looks like Eric screwed the pooch on this one. Eric Swalwell, ladies and gentlemen, no longer a member of the House of Representatives. His resignation today. And that's sad news for some. I mean, after all, the mooch, Scaramucci, was on with Anderson Cooper, and he said that he's going to play the human side. My heart goes out to him. So Scaramucci is one among probably others expressing sadness that Eric Swalwell, at least momentarily, seems to be without a career in the world of politics. The way things are going, his life may be filled with new opportunities, perhaps leading a group behind walls. You know, those group therapy sessions for, well, I mean, it's premature to suggest that. I was thinking about that today, you know. Harvey Weinstein is asking for a new trial. They're doing new stuff with that. You got Bill Cosby out there still in. This thing with Swalwell, kind of, remember the way Bill Cosby started? One woman made an accusation. People were like, then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, another one. And pretty soon, there was a whole magazine cover's worth of women saying that Bill Cosby did things. So I wonder if this is what's going to happen to Eric. Because every day, there are more people stepping forward. Headline in the SF Gate today, that's another one of these the San Francisco Bay Area websites, San Francisco Chronicle, which broke the story with Mr. Swalwell is deeply involved with SF Gate. And the headline, I think this is right out of Princess Diana's analysis, Swalwell fallout could finally launch standout Bay Area Democrat in governor's race. The race to succeed Gavin Newsom is as wide open as Eric Swalwell's fly. No, as ever. With the sudden news of Representative Eric Swalwell's withdrawal, yes, ladies and gentlemen, he pulled out before the end. Not only from the packed California governor's race, but also from Congress amid alarming allegations of sexual assault and misconduct. The competition to succeed Gavin Newsom is as wide open as ever. San Francisco Chronicle broke the news that a woman accused Swalwell. It goes on and on about that. And then they talked to a longtime pollster who said, we've entered yet another period of uncertainty in the governor's race. Race got off to a slow start when Kamala kept dilly-dallying before she said she wasn't going to run. I'm just summarizing what's the article, largely. But then they go on to say that there are other contenders in the race, including a San Jose mayor by the name of Matt Mahan, who's backed by Silicon Valley people. And what they're suggesting is he's going to put some significant money in boosting up the profile. Now, Swalwell's peoples, he's still on the ballot. It is too late for him to be taken off the ballot. So Swalwell's people are supposedly going to be dispersed among some of the other candidates like Kate Porter and this Tom Steyer, billionaire guy. But with Swalwell gone, there's a chance for somebody that has some high favorabilities and some money to step in and take advantage of all of this, which is one of the things, because there are still 2 Republicans sitting on top of the California governor's race, and that cannot be accepted in California politics. This is a very, no pun intended, fluid situation. Sticky, some might call it. And it gets worse. Let's check in with one of Swalwell's dear friends, Senator Ruben Gallego of Arizona. Now, let's first go back 10 days ago. You might remember, this is how quickly this is unfolded, folks. You might remember a mere 10 days ago, we were all talking about, well, some of us, Fang. Because there were rumors in the press that the Fang files were going to be released, and Eric was having a fit about them. Didn't have his lawyers talking about suing old Cash Patel and the FBI. We got to keep it all secret. We don't want the Fang files exposed. It's electioneering. That would be bad business. Ruben Gallego, Democrat senator from Arizona, was on MS Now. That's Cut 17. And remember this is good old Ruben 10 days ago.
A member of Congress, a friend of mine, who's now the front runner for governor in California. And the fact that, from reports we're hearing is that, he's trying to politicize a report that came out years ago that actually clarified and exonerated Eric Swalwell. And now they want to change that to benefit just, the president's narrative to try to stop Eric Swalwell from being governor. Why? Because he knows, number one, Eric Swalwell is going to win the governorship of California. Number two, Eric Swalwell is the hardest fighter against Donald Trump. And if Eric Swalwell is governor of California, he's going to have the bully pulpit to go after Donald Trump, unlike any other governor in this country. And they're going to do anything. They're going to corrupt the DOJ. They're going to corrupt investigations. They're going to force people, to give up their careers just for his little petty vendetta. And because he doesn't want someone like Donald Trump doesn't want someone like Eric Swalwell to be able to fight him every day to stop all the corruption that he's causing in this country.
That was a mere 10 days ago. Now, Cut 18, let's check in with Senator Ruben Gallego today. And here he is. Ruben? Yes?
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
I called this today because there's just a lot of rumors going around about me, about my family. And, unfortunately, this is not the first time. I did deal with the same BS in 2024 and 2023 when they ran millions and millions of dollars of smears against me, lied about my family, and sustained damn people again. Carrie Lake, Chris LaCivita, a bunch of political operatives. They couldn't do in 2024, trying to do again in 2026. So I want to make a couple of things very clear. Number one, Eric Swalwell lied to all of us.
What?
He lied to the most powerful people in this country. And they trusted him. They trusted him with some of the most sensitive, spots
They
in our
did,
government,
not you. Huh?
whether it was on the Judiciary Committee, Intel Committee, impeaching Donald Trump. And that clouded my judgment. My friendship with him, our family's friendship together with him, clouded my judgment. And I was wrong. I deeply, deeply regret that. The women that came forward are courageous, and they still deserve justice. But to be clear again, I also had no knowledge of predatory behavior, sexual assault, or harassment. And unfortunately right now, the same people that are attacking me in 2024 are using this horrible situation that's been thrown upon these women, thrown upon Eric Swalwell's family, and using this as an excuse to politically attack me, lie about me, and lie about my family. And I will not take that lightly. So with that, I'll gladly take any questions, because we're here, and I'm not going to let the same thing play down.
I'm sorry. The poor guy. People are asking him questions, and no, he doesn't like it. All right, let's get on with the questions then. Daggone it. Cut 19. Here you go. Let's start off with the questions then. Let's have some questions for old Senator.
You know, I don't know what's going on with his family, but it's definitely a horrible situation for family. They're using that as a cover to attack me right now because they can't do it. They couldn't take back 2024 because they ran a horrible race. But now this is what they want to do. They just want to hurt me as much as they can. Presidents, anything else like that, I don't care. We're going to wait, and that's not even a thing right now. The most important thing is I want to protect my family. I want to protect my family's reputation, and this is why we're talking about right now.
Senator, you've gone on trips, on vacations, officially, unofficially. You've gone out, presumably, with the congressman. You've never even witnessed him, I don't know, engaging in an affair?
No.
Never.
What about...
No.
How do you explain some of the photos that are online? I know you addressed one, but there is another one that shows both of you without shirts. I mean, how do you address some of those compromising photos?
We were on a beach.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the desert and on some camels.
It was a beach and a camel, but it's a beach, yeah.
How do you address... I'm sorry. How do you address some of those compromising photos? The guy doesn't have, he's in a photo without his shirt on. The reporters are giving these guys the Republican treatment, I'm telling you. It's so interesting to watch. How do you address the compromising photos? You and Eric both don't have shirts on. It's compromising. We're on a beach. You're on a camel. I'm sorry. Cut 20. More questions.
In the beginning, you said when you first heard these rumors a few weeks ago, that's when you called them. Then you said you've heard these rumors for years. So which one is it, Senator?
So I heard rumors of him being flirty.
And that wasn't an issue enough for you to not trust him to watch your kids or be close with him?
Because, you hear this, and then when you're close to somebody, and you know his wife, you see this. You see that relationship. You know that, it maybe just isn't true.
When you first heard these rumors, should you have acted when you first heard these rumors several years ago?
The rumors I heard were that he was just a flirty social guy. That's it.
Okay. Cut 22, and then we're going to go to break. Oh, I can't stand it.
I got to
come on.
Friends closer now. This is, again, I let this man into my family. I trusted this man. And through some of the hardest things I ever had to deal with, I trusted him with my family. And it hurts. And it hurts the fact that he hurt a lot of people. And it pisses me off that now we all have to deal with all of his BS. His family, the poor victims that are still going to have to seek justice. And, of course, this is a horrible situation.
What do you say to someone?
Sorry.
Yes, my friends, it's a horrible situation. Under the bus, Eric must go. I trusted him with my family. Exactly what did he trust him with his family to do? I'm not sure what that means exactly. And he was my friend. I trusted him. He is under the bus. Senator Ruben Galil disavows his friend Eric Swalwell. James Golden Snerdley, the Tuesday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Fastest hour in American media. Don't go away.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let us hear from a lady that the world has been introduced to today. Her name is Elena Drews.
He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity. Although I did not undergo a rape kit at the time, I disclosed the assault to the people closest to me. I also recorded these events in my handwritten calendar. The assault and its impact were later documented during my therapy sessions at a sexual assault center in Connecticut. It had a profound impact on my mental health. I self-medicated in an unhealthy way. I did not want to live anymore. I cried all the time for years. At the time, I was in a dating relationship with a boyfriend I was fully committed to. I've never cheated in my life, and I would never have engaged in a consensual sexual encounter with Eric Swalwell.
Wow. That is Lena Drews coming in with her account. We'll be back, folks.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Is anybody else just so sick and disappointed in Eric Swalwell? Or is it just me? To me, he was supposed to be one of the good guys. He was supposed to be one of the good guys. That's why it's just so disappointing.
Yeah, she's disappointed. James Golden Snerdley. By the way, I like that cut, Carlos. What Bieber cut was that you just played? What was that? Sorry? Come on now. You act like I'm supposed to know his whole catalog. TJ just trying. Sorry, idiot. Like you don't know that Justin Bieber. Everybody knows Justin Bieber songs. I missed the whole TJ. I missed the whole Justin Bieber thing. I knew his name, but for the first year, I just kept saying, "What is a Bieber?" So I didn't quite get it. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I like that cut. But isn't he connected with one of these guys that's in the pen for sexual problems? Like, who was his mentor? Diddy was his mentor?
No, Usher. Sure.
Usher. Oh, wait. And who's Usher's mentor?
Diddy.
Diddy. So Diddy begat Usher, and Usher begat Bieber. Is that how it works?
I mean, allegedly there was a fight between Bieber and Usher during the Oscars because of that, because Usher recruited Bieber for Diddy, in a sense. Allegedly. I don't know anything about it.
Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. We have business to do. We're going to have to pick this discussion up because I want to know the backstories on it. You guys can teach me. All right. So you heard the woman, poor Lana Drews, with Swalwell's story, which is a horrific story. And it is just looking like this thing could go. But I want to, before we get out of here, Princess Diana, I know you're out there. To me, Princess Diana, this confirms your theory like nothing else has confirmed your theory. I have one cut which confirms that Princess Diana's theory about all of this and how this came to be is 100% dead on accurate and right. Cut 8. It is a CNN Dana Bash report.
In the case of Eric Swalwell, the former speaker and fellow Californian Nancy Pelosi, I am told, picked up the phone and called Swalwell on Friday night and said, you got to drop out of the governor's race, because remember, he was a leading candidate, and also made clear that he should resign from Congress. She was at GW with our old friend and colleague Frank Sesno yesterday, and he asked about the situation.
If you have a challenge that you have to address, it's best addressed not as a candidate for governor and not as a member of Congress.
Some Republicans and others are saying that Democrats turned kind of a blind eye, that they knew what he was up to or what the allegations were.
That is absolutely positive.
Folks, that confirms it. This was a political operation from the very beginning. And that doesn't say that these things didn't happen. But the Democrats have known who he is. And you cannot tell me that they did not know that this was going on, because rumors have been swirling about him for years. Pelosi personally picked up the phone, told Swalwell, okay, pal, get out. And not only are you getting out of the governor's race, you're getting out of the House, too. It came from the boss, Pelosi. But James, Hakeem Jeffries is the boss. Hakeem Jeffries is not the boss of the Democrat House caucus. Nancy Pelosi still is. Jeffries is just a figurehead. A DEI figurehead in place to placate the coalitions. Everybody knows, well, most people know that Nancy still runs the House. Come on. Okay, let's move on to some other things, because other things are out there. I want to touch briefly on this, because this is not going to receive a hell of a lot of attention, even though it should. Cut 14, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche on at Fox.
Welcome back. The Department of Justice releasing a bombshell report on the weaponization of government. It claims the Biden Justice Department, led by former Attorney General Merrick Garland, weaponized the law to target pro-life defendants and tried to give them longer prison sentences. And that includes the case of pro-life activist Mark Houck. The father of 7 was charged with obstructing access to an abortion clinic. A SWAT team of more than a dozen people raided his home, arresting him in front of his children. He faced up to 11 years in prison. A jury later acquitted him. You'll remember we covered this story, and here he is on America's Newsroom after that.
Look, I'm a pro-lifer, and I've been a pro-lifer. I've been an activist for 20 plus years, and we all know what happened. But the federal government did come after me with the full force of the law. And raided my home on September 23rd as a response to that. And, here we are 4 months after that raid, vindicated, hopefully, with no issue with appeal.
And we remember that well. Well, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is with us here. Thank you so much for being here.
Morning.
I want to put a couple statistics here. Average 26.8 months for pro-life defendants versus 12.3 months for pro-abortion offenders. And this from a Biden official, former Biden official, saying the Civil Rights Division brought law enforcement leaders, crisis pregnancy center representatives, faith leaders, and reproductive health care staff together to address the real violence, threats of violence, and obstruction that too many people face in our country when it comes to reproductive health care. We enforce the law even-handedly and put public safety at the center of this work. I imagine you disagree with that.
I do, and I disagree not because it's just my opinion. I disagree because of the work that we did over the past year at the department, understanding what happened that led to these completely inappropriate results. And prosecutors have a big say in sentencings in the federal system. The judge ultimately imposes sentence, but what we saw is prosecutors arguing for really harsh sentences, inconsistent with what they should have been doing and inconsistent with what they were arguing when it was exactly the opposite. And we saw internal emails, internal correspondence, which is now part of the report, where Department of Justice prosecutors are working hand in hand with NGOs and nonprofits to target and go after pro-life individuals who were not breaking the law. Okay? And I'll tell you what, there's no emails in my inbox from NGOs telling me what to do. And it's disappointing. And
I hope there are some criminal charges, not just a bunch of talk. These people, these NGOs that participated, and the people that did this unfair meeting out of so-called justice should be held to account. Pro-lifers, let's go after them, let's target them, let's throw them in jail, guilty or not guilty of anything. And by the way, do you notice that some things just get glossed over in these reports? They came and arrested this man in front of his family and his child. They separated him from his family. They detained him and took him away from his family in front of his children. That's all you hear the left scream about when ICE comes and does what they're supposed to do. Not one complaint from anybody on the left. Moving on, we have other things to cover. I'd like to visit the Abby Show. Hal Lambert was a guest on the Abby Show, and listen to the way they tried to shut him down, cut 3, when he talks about the Pope and Donald Trump, this controversy that has been brewing in the press since yesterday. Just listen at the way they try to shut him down and shut him up when he goes into certain factual information.
100% political, okay? This is all about trying to hurt President Trump's Catholic vote during the midterms and Republicans during the midterms. If you look at play out the dots here, David Axelrod goes and visits.
Oh my God, the arrogance of this. There's a billion Catholics in the world. They're all worried about Trump's election in the midterms?
Clearly, I'm striking a chord here.
Let's let him finish the thought.
David Axelrod goes and visits Pope Leo last week. They're talking about Obama going to visit Pope Leo. Pope Leo's from Chicago. All of a sudden, now Pope Leo is out attacking Trump and the policies of the United States and Israel. In a much more forceful way. You have 3 cardinals come out today attacking the immigration policy. This is all about trying to get the Catholic vote against Trump. And let me add one more thing.
There's a lot of flaws in this argument.
They're going to succeed. There's no flaws.
They're going to succeed.
There's no flaws.
Including that none of the things that you're describing
is the chief strategist for Obama.
He's also from Chicago, but that's not why he
is saying he's not political. Why is he meeting with the chief strategist for both Obama's campaigns and in the White House?
Pope
really? Would he have a possible reason to meet with a chief political?
J.D. Vance met with the Pope before the last one died. What was he doing there? Pope Francis met with J.D. Vance. Pope Francis was extremely critical.
J.D. Vance is Vice President of the United States.
Hold on a second. Pope Francis was extremely critical of Trump. He was extremely critical of the immigration rhetoric from Trump and his allies. He still met.
Let me add one more thing that Pope Leo's not critical
what's
of.
The conspiracy?
Because let me ask you this. Why has Pope Leo been, when Iran killed 30,000 plus of their own citizens, he didn't call out the Iranian regime at all. He said we need to stop violence. That was very milquetoast. That wasn't calling out the Iranian regime, and yet he's calling out the United States and Israel.
War
is never the solution.
Jesus was a peacemaker.
But he didn't call out the Iranian regime.
Yeah, they did not like that at all. Called it out. Now, Mehek Hook was on the BBC, and this is cut 2. She adds her opinion to this mix on this My gosh, unbelievable. Oh, folks,
In your thoughts, Mehek
not just on the image, but the fact that it was taken down?
Look, I think that there's this moral outrage in the media today anytime the White House puts something up, even in jest and in joke. And I find it ironic because the same mainstream media actually never protects Christians. They actually never stand up. Look at what happened in Minneapolis as Christians were praying on a Sunday. They had rioters come in. They were dragged out of the churches. Children were terrified. And most mainstream media didn't even want to cover it. So I don't play in this humor game because I think media tries to blow it out of proportion. But I do think President Trump has a point about the Pope. It is one thing to talk about the human cost of war. It's another thing to take your Pope hat off and act like the President of the United States and talk about the military and intelligence that he has no business talking about. And there is a just war doctrine in Catholicism. I'm a new Catholic. 7 to 8 years, that's new to me. And I've learned about the just war doctrine. When you see innocent lives being threatened, when you see America being threatened, President Trump did everything right. And for the Pope to come out and then wave his religious wand and start attacking the president on the world stage is just wrong.
But we've had the Pope.
Yeah, and so you look today in Washington Post. Trump's attacks on Pope Leo create fresh midterm headaches for GOP. Well, my response to that is if the GOP lets that define it, then fine. What should be under discussion is the Pope's attack on Donald Trump and on America, and on America's right to defend itself from the number one state sponsor of terrorism. And look, I am not going to get into a whole personality thing with the Pope, what he believes. I have always, it's so strange to me. I'm not a Catholic, but I've said many times, I love going to Mass when I go.
The Rush Hour with James Golden, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush. Now here's James Golden.
Some of the stories I'm putting aside for tomorrow. Scott Besson says they are working on the order that banks collect citizenship information. They haven't forgotten. It's in progress. Maryland, the redistricting effort there, squashed, gone. And there's more. Ilhan Omar trying again to squeeze millions out for what appears to be a fraudulent cause. Wow. In 2009, on this day, George Harrison was honored with a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Sir Paul McCartney was there as well. Remembering George Harrison. May God bless each and every one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude, my friends, for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, we are back tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, the fastest hour in American media. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?